All right, Shalom. Before we get started, I want to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well, that have taught us His truth through the Holy Spirit. Peace salutations to the hopeful elect, 144,000 and 1/3 that are believing on this truth and ultimately scattered to the four corners of the earth, pushing the ministry and the prophecies of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai in truth and sincerity. Shalom. This is Brother Loyal with GMS Wisconsin. Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, I can edify somebody. So I'm going to do a really quick lesson on the history of Christmas. You know, this pagan holiday that's being celebrated today, December 25th of 2024. The history of Christmas, what it really goes back to, and the simple fact that, because most people believe that Christmas has something to do with who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, and the fact they believe that they're worshiping, quote unquote, Jesus Christ when they celebrate Christmas. That's why they go to church, and they think that when they're praying that the Lord is hearing their prayers, but really you're just celebrating a pagan holiday, man. Okay, so I typed in on Google the history of Christmas, and this is what came up. It said in Babylon, talking about the Babylonian Empire during the time of Nimrod, okay, around Jeremiah the 10th chapter. It says, in Babylon, temples called ziggurats were erected for idol worship. Through these means, many pagan customs were nurtured and promoted far and wide. So let's go into an image of what a ziggurat looked like. Let's see here. Okay, so when you go into Jeremiah the 10th chapter, it tells you that, roughly paraphrasing, I'm not going to grab it, that Nimrod, he erected the Tower of Babel, and he tried to build it all the way up to the heavens when you go into the history of it, and when you look up a ziggurat, it's literally shaped like a Christmas tree, So what they would do is, to erect their gods, and to make them stand tall. Let's just type in, I think I typed in ziggurats. This is what a ziggurat looked like. Okay, look, it says Babel, the gate of God. Babel go back to Babal, which in the Hebrew, which means confusion. Okay, because there's ultimately a lot of different doctrines that are brought together and pushed together. And this is how they would, erect themselves ultimately, or this is how they would exalt themselves and try to serve their deities. They would erect these things called ziggurats, and this is what they look like. Okay, so let's go back to the history of Christmas in Babylon. Okay, and that's why you have the Christmas tree that looks like that. It's that same spirit, man. It's that same idol worship. Okay, it says here it's Christmas Christian, or ultimately it's Christian. It's Christmas and Israelite custom. The truth is, no, it's not. It says the Bible prohibits the celebration and decoration of a Christmas tree. We're actually going to grab that next. Well, let me finish that. What it said here. I'm going to read it again. In Babylon, temples called ziggurats, and we just went into that, were erected for idol worship. Okay, and the idols that they usually worship were Baal, okay, or I believe it was called Asherah. Okay, it says through these means, many pagan customs were nurtured and promoted far and wide. Some of these practices are still observed today, including the recognition of December 25th. Well, December 25th is actually the same day that Nimrod was born. A lot of people don't know that. So when you celebrate Christmas, you're really worshiping Nimrod, man. It says here, what is the true origin of Christmas? In fact, the Christian celebration of Christmas was invented by Romans, ultimately going back to the Babylonian Empire, because, we know that there's no new thing under the sun, as a way to co-opt and tame the raucous pagan holiday of Saturnalia. Okay, let me just grab that little information I had went into. here. Okay. Celebration of Christmas, and what it has to do with any customs. It has nothing to do with our customs. It says the Romans celebrated, this is on Google, the Romans celebrated Saturnalia, a festival that took place in December as a way to honor Saturn, which is ultimately Satan, the god of agriculture and the harvest. While the Romans didn't celebrate Christmas, Saturnalia is believed to be the inspiration for many modern Christmas traditions. Okay? This is how they celebrated Saturnalia. Religious ceremony. The festival began with a sacrifice of young pigs. Oh, man. At the temple of Saturn in the Roman Forum. See, this is why Esau Edom gotta go. It says the next day a free public banquet was held for everyone. On the last day of Saturnalia, or gift giving, on the last day of Saturnalia, Romans celebrated Sigillaria, a day of gift giving. People exchanged small figurines, often made of terracotta, wood, or wax. So this is the history of Christmas, man. And Jake is not going into this information. I'm really doing this lesson specifically because you got the 12 tribes of Israel from the tribe of Judah all the way down to Issachar celebrating these pagan holidays, and they don't understand how satanic it is, man. Okay? Look at this. They were running the streets. And they were doing orgies and running the streets naked, and then the next day they would give each other gifts. This is the nature of the Roman Empire. This is what they were doing around those times, man. But Jake has no idea about this stuff because Jake don't go into the information. It says Saturnalia is an ancient Roman festival and holiday in honor of the god Saturn, held on 17 December in the Julian calendar and later expanded with festivities until 19 December. By the 1st century BC, the celebration had been extended until 23 December for a total of 7 days of festivities. Let's go into the Council of Nicaea, because we go into the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. Okay, they ultimately made Christmas a holiday. They officiated the holiday. See, it says, yes, the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD set the date for Christmas as December 25th, going back to the worship of Nimrod, man. It says the Council of Nicaea was the first ecumenical council of the Christian Church, convened by Emperor Constantine I to address the Arian heresy. The heresy was proposed by Arius of Alexandria, who taught that who they call Jesus was not divine but a created being. See, it's all ultimately to mock the Lord, man, to mock who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, real name Yahweh Shai. It says the council decided to celebrate Christmas on December 25th to coincide with a Roman festival that celebrated the birth of the sun god. Okay, it's all of these different ideologies and religions that are pushed together, man. Okay. It says Constantine the Great convened the first Council of Nicaea to decide upon the official date for Christmas, the 25th of December. That's ultimately when it came into the Gregorian calendar, and that's why they celebrate it today. And it has become part of American culture, and it's become part of these other nations. All right, whether it be Ishmael, which is the so-called Arabs, or Ammon and Moab, which are the Japanese and the Chinese. You got all these other nations celebrating Christmas in different countries, man. All right. But specifically speaking for the Israelites, man, the 12 tribes of Israel, we're not supposed to celebrate these holidays. Let me grab my first precept. All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, and starting at verse 1, it says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." The Lord speaking to the 12 tribes of Israel through the prophet Jeremiah. This was during the Babylonian Empire. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them." And why were they dismayed at the signs of heaven? Because they were ultimately worshiping All right, the creation, the things the Lord created, like the sun or the stars, or they were worshiping left-hand side angels, man. They were worshiping everything but the creator of those things. It just goes to show you that the Lord never really gave the other nations the law, statutes, and commandments. But here's the main point. We're not supposed to celebrate Christmas, and it says so in this precept. Jeremiah 10:3, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. So they would go in the forest and they would cut down a tree. Okay, they would cut it at the stump, okay, and take it back to their house, right? Verse 4, they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. Let's read that in NLT. They decorate it with gold and silver and then fasten it securely with hammer and nails so it won't fall over. Okay? This is what they were doing, man, and they're doing that to this very day. Let's just show a Christmas tree, man. It's the same customs today. All right, this is what you have on Google, man. All right, you know, you got people out there that know that Christmas is a pagan holiday, man. Okay, that's exactly what Jeremiah the 10th chapter is talking about, and that's what you got Jake doing now. You actually got, you know, farmers and men out there that work in the field that cut these trees down and sell them. All right, for financial profit. They literally cutting trees down, selling them for $100, $200, $300, man. Esau making a quick profit off of these natural resources, these trees that are getting cut down just so that they can, you know, make a quick dollar, man, and celebrate these pagan holidays. It has nothing to do with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Okay, and what happened was Jake started to keep these customs. Jake started to discontinue from their heritage, man. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, starting at verse 1. It says, the sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. Meaning Jake was totally invested in these customs of the other nations, man. Okay. It says, while their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. Okay. Skipping to verse 4, it says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And what is ultimately our heritage, man? All right, the law, statutes, and commandments. That is ultimately how we worship the Heavenly Father Yahweh through his son Yahushai, man. Okay, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, by rehearsing the righteous acts. Christmas is not a holiday that we celebrated, man. All right, that's a Babylonian Talmud / Nimrod / Saturnalia custom that they kept, man. It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. It was prophesied. All right. It says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. And that's exactly what you have now, man. Okay. You have Jake and you got even the other nations celebrating these pagan holidays, man. And that's ultimately why the Lord, he doesn't look favorably upon Babylon the Great. Because what does Babylon mean? It literally means confusion, man. That's why you got all the other nations keeping these customs. All right, that's why you got Jake going off, going out buying Christmas trees and buying Christmas presents, not realizing that they're worshiping these satanic deities, man. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 1 is titled The Doom of Babylon, meaning destruction, because this place is set for destruction. It says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, this is John the Revelator, all right? Because remember, he was given a series of visions, man. It says, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. So what is the great whore that sitteth upon many waters? That's talking about America. All right. America is Babylon the Great in the scriptures, and it's doomed for destruction and judgment, man. All right. And why is it the whore that sitteth upon many waters? Because it influences the rest of the other nations. The waters represent the peoples and the nations, man. that have the many different languages and tongues, all right, that follow the customs that they see Esau Edom doing, man. Okay, Esau Edom being you so-called white people. Y'all have influenced the other nations to keep your customs, man. Revelation 17:2, with whom the kings of the earth, all right, the other nations, have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. That's why you got the other nations celebrating Christmas and New Year's and Independence Day. How the hell are you celebrating Independence Day in China? All right. How the hell are you celebrating New Year's? All right, in different countries, man. All right, putting up a Christmas tree, talking about Merry Christmas. All right, those weren't y'all customs. You know, you were still going off, all right, worshiping other gods, but you weren't doing that. But it just shows you how much influence these Edomites have in the earth, man. Let's read it again, verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. The other nations are in bed with Esau. They are in bed with Babylon the Great. All right, through influence, by keeping the ideologies and the belief systems. It says, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Okay, and that's exactly what you got going on now. All right, but specifically speaking to the Israelites, the Lord don't accept, all right, any sacrifice you call yourself putting up to the Lord. He doesn't accept it, man. Let me grab another precept. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 18 and verse 15. And it reads, because my people have forgotten me. This is talking about the Lord speaking. It says they have burned incense to vanity. Okay. And they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths, to walk in paths in a way not cast up. And that's what you got Jake doing right now. Okay. Worshiping Jesus Christ, man. All right. Which goes back to Serapis Christus. All right, in the Greco-Egyptian Empire, man, during the time of Ptolemy, during the Ptolemaic Empire. All right, Ptolemy is where Serapis Christus was erected, man. Jeremiah 18 and 15 in the NLT, it says, but my people are not so reliable, for they have deserted me. They burn incense to worthless idols. And that's exactly what you're doing when you erect these Christmas trees, man. It says they have stumbled off the ancient highways and walk in muddy paths. Okay, the Lord does not accept, all right, you celebrating Christmas and you call yourself worshiping the Lord at the same time. A lot of people are in ignorance, though. They don't understand that they're worshiping Satan when they celebrate Christmas, man. All right. Amos 5 and 21. This is the Lord speaking. It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. NLT, it says, I hate all your show and pretense, the hypocrisy of your religious festivals and solemn assemblies. So when you call yourself gathering in these Christian churches, talking about praise Jesus, all right, we're celebrating Christmas, trying to commemorate Jesus Christ and his resurrection. The Lord ain't hearing that, man. Because first and foremost, his name ain't Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, Yahweh Shai meaning he delivers. Yah meaning he, Yahweh Shai meaning delivers, man. All right, and he's only dealing with the Israelites, man. And the only way you can truly worship the Heavenly Father through Yahweh Shai, man, is through the law, statutes, and commandments. What he told us to do in the scriptures, man. And Christmas is not an Israelite custom. Amos 5 and 22 KJV. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. Okay? So the Lord says he's not going to accept the burnt offerings and the grain offerings that Israel tries to offer up unto him, man. You know, you call yourself singing to the Lord, talking about have a holly jolly Christmas. The Lord ain't hearing that, man. All right, he hates these pagan holidays, man. And this is ultimately why Babylon is set for destruction. Okay, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, and there is no cure for this place, man. All right, and when it's all said and done, the other nations are going to realize that they've been duped as well, man. Last precept, Jeremiah 51 and 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup. As a matter of fact, we're going to start at verse 6. Jeremiah 51:6, flee out of the midst of Babylon. That means spiritually as well and mentally. It says, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. See, America, which is Babylon, is set for destruction, man. All right, because of all these ideologies and pagan holidays and these customs that they have the world worshiping, man, and celebrating and following after, man. If you are following, I'm gonna grab Saki, what's that precept? Micah 2:10, really quick. You are destroyed if you celebrating these holidays, man. You got to turn away from it. According to the Bible, Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Jake is comfortable celebrating Christmas in Babylon the Great, man. Okay? And when this is not our rest is the kingdom of heaven. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted with false idols, all right, false worship, okay, pagan holidays, all right, wicked ideologies, man. It says, it shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. Okay, let's go back to Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, all right, talking about America, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. All right, iniquity is sin upon sin, because this place is set for thermonuclear destruction. All right, and then comes the kingdom of heaven. It says, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, because the Lord getting ready to pay Babylon the Great back for all of its wickedness. First and foremost, for what it did to the Israelites, took us into captivity, all right, and destroyed us as a people, got us worshiping their gods and celebrating their holidays. It says, this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. And remember, these Edomites are the ones that put Yahushua up on the cross and crucified him. The Lord ain't forgot, man. Verse 7, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken, meaning they're keeping these customs and they're believing all these ideologies and these religions, man, and celebrating these holidays. It says, the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. All right. They're going to realize that they've been duped and lied to in the end, man, and everybody going to turn against Esau. All right, but the nations are all bugged out, keeping these pagan holidays and bowing down to white Jesus, man. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. All right, howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And this place can't be healed. It's set for destruction, thermonuclear destruction. All right, verse 9, it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, because there is no cure for what's coming upon this place. It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Okay, and that judgment is going to ultimately come in the form of thermonuclear destruction. I know I said that would be my last precept, all right, but I'm going to end it off with Isaiah 66. Okay, because when the Lord comes back, he's coming with fire, man. Isaiah 66:15. All right, 'tis the season to prophesy the destruction of this place, man. Isaiah 66:15. For behold, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai will come with fire, thermonuclear fire, man, and the laser beams from the chariots. It says, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. The chariots represent the UFOs or the UAPs, man, which they call unidentified flying objects or unidentified aerial phenomena. Those are the chariots. Those are the vehicles of the heavenly realm that the angels control, man. All right. It says to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. All right. All those decorations, all these ideologies and belief systems are going to be totally burnt to a crisp when the Lord comes back, man, with the angels. Verse 16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. All right. Verse 17, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and the abomination, all abomination, man. All right. All idol worship. All right. It says, and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. Okay. And that's ultimately what's coming upon this place, thermonuclear destruction. All right, so that the kingdom of heaven can be ushered in, man. I'm going to leave it there, though. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Chakwadash, double honor to the apostles, and those is a great millstone, and shalom to you, hopeful elect out there.